Welcome to the only place where real, raw, and vulnerable conversations happen with IFBB Bikini pros to give you an inside look at their struggles, strategies, mindset, passions, and all of life beyond the stage. This podcast is made to inspire, motivate, and remind competitors and the average gym goer that even the most extreme lifestyles and elite athletes have their ups and downs. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm your host, Celeste Rains-Turk, and now it's time for the Confessions of a Bikini Pro podcast. Today's episode is very special to me because we are hearing from one of my own coaches and best friends. Honestly, I have no words other than complete gratitude and love for this woman. She grew up in a poor area of Barcelona, Spain, left the country at a young age to pursue a modeling career, starting in London, then on to Ireland and Mexico to finally arrive in America, where after all the ups and downs of her life and her body and her career, she made a name for herself. And with the support and guidance of her husband, my other coach, Joe DeShulo, she was able to set new goals and finally establish a lifestyle that would allow her to continuously fulfill her potential. And she became an IFBB pro in 2010 at the Arnold Amateur. She won overall at every show she ever did, if I'm not mistaken. And in 2012, she became a mother to her two preemie twin boys, who I absolutely adore. They're so amazing and so sweet. And she carried her resilient mindset with her to developing her business, Team Edge Global, which supports competitors and lifestyle clients with personalized plans, a supplement company, custom bikinis, posing, and now that she's got brand premium business mentorship program, which is super awesome. We'll talk a little bit about that today too. So I'm really happy to have you here. Welcome, Ingrid Romero. How are you?
Wow. First of all, what an introduction. I am almost already in tears. Okay, this is going to get very emotional. So let's...
What's new?
First of all, I know we are always crying together, but first of all, I can see the smile on your face while you're talking, and that makes me so happy. Wow. Thank you.
Of course.
It's the little things in life. And I'm so grateful for you and for this opportunity of being in this awesome podcast and being able to connect with your audience on a deeper level, the same way I connect with you. And wow, I thought I had an introduction figured it out, but this threw me off, and wow.
I'm glad. I could send it to you later. But
thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you have always inspired me. And to everybody listening, I've been working with Ingrid and Joe since 2017. I want to say it was April 2017. So almost like 4 years.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been a long time. And I haven't looked back since. And I'm super grateful for the work they do. But, this episode, we're really going to get to know Ingrid, because I think a lot of people who see you backstage, I know I was one of those people who's like, we just see you coach Ingrid. We don't see everything else. And I have been lucky to become closer with you and learn more about you. So I'm going to ask you a question I ask most of my guests, but I'm also going to get into a lot of the deep stuff. So the very first icebreaker question, did you ever have a ritual or something you thought about before you would go on stage, like right before?
No. And let me tell you something. I could not talk with anybody before going on stage. I was kind of I needed to be alone. I was praying, my eyes were closed, and I was just to myself. So now it's a completely different experience with my clients. Now I see that it's not an individual sport, it's actually a team sport. And though it feels like individual, but it's really not. Yeah. Maybe it's in our team because we have a big community and we're really close with each other. But I was always just, really nervous. I'm extremely competitive, and I know you know that. So I couldn't even speak. Now, the first step on stage, everything just all the nerves goes away. I feel super comfortable on stage, and I just felt that happy to be there and absolutely no nerves. But before the stage, no ritual, just to myself on the little corner with my robe. I will not even take my rope off. Like right now, I have my clients,
Yeah.
practice backstage right before their stage time, and to make sure their body's warm and ready. I never did any of that. I was just honestly by myself. So
Wow.
yeah. Also, there was no many teams back then, so I did it all alone with Joe. So it was just me and Joe.
That's
So
crazy.
yeah, I had not really friends back there. I met some really good people. They're still friends today. I'm actually coaching one of those girls that I competed at my first show right now.
Really?
Right now, she just joined. Yes.
That's so cool. What?
Right?
That's
Yeah. And
awesome.
that's been already almost 10 years. So
Oh my
yeah.
gosh, that is
But
amazing.
yeah, it was the sport was really new when I started, and it has evolved so much now. So, but yeah, there was not many choices. So it was just me and Joe.
And I know you entered the bodybuilding world and that was with the support of Joe, but what was life like for you before meeting him?
Wow. Well, you kind of talked a little bit about, my challenges growing up. I definitely faced a lot of adversity, and I hope I don't cry. Wow. Okay. So I believe all of that adversity is what makes me successful today. So I'm thankful for that as well. Um, they gave me, it gave me all the strength to become, the person that I am today, I feel. So just to give you a little background, I was not raised by my biological family. I was abandoned by both my parents, not one, both. So I was raised on a neighborhood in Barcelona that was not, it was one of the worst neighborhoods there is. It's called Campo Claro, which I love. And I say it with a lot of pride. But yeah, I saw a lot of things growing up. Really thankful that I had love by the family that raised me. We didn't have money, but they did have love, and that was all it matters to me. So anyway, um, growing up there, I remember going outside in my window, and we lived in government apartments, right? So we had little windows. We didn't have balconies or anything like that. So I remember looking at planes flying, and every time I saw a plane, I just got this like feeling that I was going to go to the United States one day. And I think it's because I used to watch Friends when I was little, the show Friends, that they played in Spain as well. But I just felt that I was going to be going places. I always knew it. I always knew that I was different and that I was going to do something with my life, even though I was 7 years old. So anyway, time went by, became a teenager. A lot of things happened as a teenager as well, from growing up the way I did, but didn't make the right choices many times. But I left my country at 17. I landed in London by myself with 2 suitcases with no wheels that I had to carry. And I was dragging them because I had my whole life in those suitcases. I knew I will never come back home. I knew that I was done with Spain. I love my country, but I have a lot of trauma there and I didn't want to go back. And when I do go back now, it's just for vacation. So anyways, I landed in England. I thought I was going to be doing some modeling, and turns out I didn't speak English. I ended up being a sandwich maker. So I work, making sandwiches.
Mhm.
And I learned a little bit of English. And when I was there, I felt into a really deep depression because I realized that I was alone. I was alone in life. And, if anything happened, I really didn't have anybody, to save me. And that that's super strong why to me of succeed, right? I have to
Mhm.
succeed because I have no option. I have to make it happen. And I will do whatever it takes to live the life of my dreams. And even back then, I used to think that if I ever had kids, they will not go through what I went through myself. And to today, this is my deepest why. But anyway, I'm getting
Oh,
too
I love
emotional,
it.
and I'm going back too way back. But anyway, so of course the modeling career didn't take off. I fell into a depression, gained 50 pounds. So I went from 130 pounds to 180 pounds within 3 months. And you are very familiar with this. You've gone through it yourself. I was
Mhm.
binge eating. I was binge eating. I was eating every single night. I don't even know how many calories. I would say 5,000 calories if I could put a number on them. I will wake up overnight and just eat. And I did this for 3 months. I gained all that weight. And then I was embarrassed to go outside. I was embarrassed for my friends to see me. I was hiding myself with hats and baggy clothes. Back then, I'm already almost 36 years old. There was no plus size clothing, right? So I couldn't find even clothes that fitted me. I'm only 5'4" and 180 pounds. I couldn't find pants that fitted me. So I had to wear like looser skirts and things like that. Anyway, I did a lot of partying, a lot of drinking, a lot of binging. Yeah. And I feel because I've gone through that myself, I'm now able to help my clients when they struggle as well, and understand how they feel, you know. Absolutely. So aside from that, from the binging, I then went through a lot of, like, I know you know this, but like the maple syrup, the fasting, the cayenne peppers, all kinds of fat diets I've been through by now, and none of them work. And the only thing that worked for me is competing. The only thing that worked for me, and I know there's a lot of negativity sometimes around the sport, but wow, competing saved me. Competing made me realize that food was not the enemy. And I had issues before competing. Competing actually helped me, you know, get a better relationship with food. So, and not starve myself and then repeat the cycle of binging, starving, and again, basically. So yeah, that's a little bit of my background. Wow.
I love that. No, your story is amazing. And like I said, like I wanted people to know more of you, not just like what they see. And you're so vulnerable already with everybody, which I've always appreciated. And I just think people hearing your story can maybe resonate with parts of it, even on multiple levels, really, but especially on that level too. And it's nice to know that you can get out of it. And I think that's something I always like to reiterate to people is like, there's an end to that struggle as long as you're committed to overcoming it. And you yourself have always believed in giving 110% to everything you do, or really not giving anything at all. So how did you balance competing, which you said really saved you, with other areas of your life, given that mindset?
So it's hard. It's hard, especially other areas of my life are my kids, right? So not only competing, but competing business. Now that I don't compete, I still go to competitions with my clients. And that is just as intense as if I was competing, if not more. So it feels like I have a million kids. Yeah. And the adrenaline is like up and down, up and down. It's like a crazy roller coaster every time I'm in a competition. So how do I balance it? I don't know what, I'm going to be honest. Maybe I don't have the balance thing figured it out completely. I give myself 110% and super present. So when I'm with my kids, I'm with my kids 100%. When I'm working 100%. And maybe that's my balance. Yeah. Maybe that's my balance, that I absolutely, wow, you just make me have an amazing moment right here, because that is absolutely balanced when you're able to be with your kids fully present. Oh, absolutely. And then you're able to work and be fully present at your work as well. So yeah, I guess I achieved it. Yeah. But I'm also a workaholic. I enjoy working. I enjoy working. And I think a lot of it is because growing up, not having anything and, you know, building the life of my dreams that I'm living today, I can't complain. And so, yeah, I don't know if I answered your question, but I think that, yeah. No, I guess that's my balance. Yeah.
No, I agree. Like, I think balance looks different for people who are entrepreneurs or who are competitors or who are moms. Like, it's very different. Or parents in general. And I have always personally admired how my dad was always like, when he was giving me attention, it was 110%. When it was work, it was that, or he needed 5 minutes, you know, before he could. And I always appreciated that. And I think it's nice to know that you can do that and it can be fulfilling. And I mean, a lot of us self-identify as like workaholics or, you know, we're really driven people. And I think that's pretty true of most competitors as well. But what I always thought was so interesting about like your experiences, not just as a competitor and a mom and a businesswoman, but when you were competing at your last show, and this we can touch on this briefly if you want to, but you were actually 2 months pregnant and you didn't know. And
yeah,
how
So
did
this
you,
is, yeah, it
uh,
was.
I mean, like, how'd you even transition from stage lean straight to pregnancy and then bed
Yeah.
rest? And yeah, walk us through that.
So I'll tell you a little bit. I competed at my last show 2 months pregnant. I think I was actually passing the 2 months. I wasn't showing. I knew that I was holding more water than ever, especially my glutes and my hamstrings. They were a little covered. So I didn't know why, but I still had a good package. I won that show, right? So I
Yeah.
looked okay. But I just felt a little different. Right after the show, I went to have dinner with my husband, Joe, and I felt a different reaction. I felt that like I got bloated in another level. It just felt different. And next day I did a pregnancy test, just like that. And
Really?
yeah, it just happened like that. I did a pregnancy test. It came back positive, but I did not believe it because I was like, I have a six pack of me. There's no way. There's a baby in here. I
Yeah,
know that's silly, but that was my competitor mind. There's
of
no way I
course.
have. I prepped through the beginning, like my entire first, trimester. I prep. So anyway, I went to the hospital right away. They did an ultrasound, and they told me, yes, you are pregnant. And I was in complete shock. I actually told the doctor, there is no way. There's no way. I just competed. Like, there is no way. And he told me, well, if you are really shocked about this, you're going to be even more shocked
Oh
because
my
you have
God.
two. Two? I'm like, what? No, 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 no. Instead of actually overwhelming myself, it was so special that I made twins to me that actually I was super happy. But at the same time, I was also very scared because I was a competitor. I just turned IFBB pro. And now my entire pro career, I felt it was ruined,
Mhm.
Not only my career, but I felt that my body with twins will never be the same. And what am I going to do with my life now? All I do, I live and breathe competing. The sport was my life for 3 years. Like, what am I going to do now? And again, that's when like my why is so deep that and so intense that it just kick in. I'm going to build my own team. And if my body gets ruined, because that's what I thought it would happen, I'm going to have a backup plan, and I'm going to teach people to do the same. And I was one of the first competition teams. And Teammates was born when I was pregnant. I went to my first show as a coach with 3 clients, and I had a huge belly. I have a picture with Tamer, the owner of Muscle Contest, with a huge belly. And I gave birth really soon after that because my twins were premature. But imagine having, premature twins delivered via C-section and building my team at the same time. It was pretty intense. The boys spent almost 2 months in intensive care. They were very, very little babies, and I built Team Edge while I was in intensive care. I basically did not leave the hospital for 2 months. I did not leave the hospital. I was there all the time, and I had my computer with me, and that's all I could do build my business
Wow.
because I wasn't even able to touch my babies. The only thing I could do is just be next to them. So that's what I did. And Teammates was born like that.
That's so
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. And I feel, I'm a huge believer on manifesting. And I know a lot of people think, oh, that's so, just a little bit weird. But I know I built my business manifesting and using visualization techniques that came to me natural. I wasn't sure of what I was doing back then. Now that I know, I know it's manifestation, but I was doing it naturally. So it came pretty natural to me. And yeah, I kind of got sidetracked, but I
No,
don't
I
even,
appreciate
yeah.
that. Actually, hearing you say that made me think of, I thought of a few things. And one thing that came to mind is, there's a lot of people who, I'm just going to be super honest, they make excuses for not
Mhm.
going after what they want because of circumstance. And you've never been one to do that. You've instead really transformed, or maybe seen a challenging situation or adversity as opportunity. And I think that, I mean, that teaches everybody a lot, but especially for you yourself. And I'm curious now, I mean, you've been putting a lot of effort into this new program, which is the She's Got Brand program. And I've been there actually to see you putting this effort in. And I would love if you could maybe explain why now you want to help other people to take, their experience in competing or fitness or nutrition or whatever it is to a business.
Okay, so All right. So first of all, like with what you said, when I get scared, I react in a way that I will do whatever it takes to make it happen. I think some people get paralyzed. In my case, I do the opposite. So my goal is to, if I can do this with twins and with all the adversity I've been through, I didn't even go to school. Nobody was going to pay my college. So I don't even have a high school diploma. So if I can do this, not build one, but now 4 businesses and stay in shape, everybody can. And that is really what I want my future clients for She's Got Brand to know, that if I can do it, so can you. I know it's very cliche. Same way that after having the twins and I was terrified, I did it. I went back in shape after gaining again another 50 pounds. If I can do it, so can they. So I think, okay, so with She's Got Brand, let me see. I wasn't ready to jump in here yet.
Well, I actually have a question for you about what you said.
Okay, all right.
I'm kind of I have a lot of questions personally, and I know I can guide this for sure. And I had so many things planned before this as well, but I was like, I feel like it's right to bring it up.
Okay.
But I think there's a lot of people listening who are like, well, Ingrid, you know, there's so much competition now. There's so many coaches, everybody's trying to do this. What would be your advice? Because you guys were one of the first teams. So now what's your advice to someone who wants to start their business and grow their brand, but they're struggling to set themselves apart from other people?
First of all, to work in their mindset. And that's the first part of the program, is actually not the strategies and the tools that I have. It is the mindset. So living in an abundance mindset is really key to be successful. I know there's a lot of competition in the fitness industry. There's competition everywhere. But if you believe that your services are needed and you are needed, it will come your way as long as you believe. Let me tell you something really quick, not talking about this.
Please.
When I met Joe, he was a trainer at a studio. And he had his own house, his beautiful car, and he was doing pretty well as a personal trainer, training one-on-one clients. I met him in 2008, and that was when the recession happened. You know, we got hit so hard. I met this new guy. He's super sweet. He loses everything. He lost his house. We moved in with his mom, and I started competing and I get pregnant. Wow. You know, all of that happened. So it was a lot. We lost everything, or we thought it ruined us, especially him. He was very scared of being a father and bringing 2 kids into the world with nothing, right?
Yeah.
But I just had a feeling. I just had like, again, I'm not going to stop. I know, you know what, talking about this, there's so many people going through this right now with COVID.
True.
There's so many people going through the same thing I went through in 2008. And I didn't give up. I moved in, I did what I had to do. I moved in with my mother-in-law. We started trying to save a little bit of money. Joe lost most of his clients because personal training was such a luxury to have, right? When you lose your business, you're going to stop doing that. So, and then I didn't stop. I didn't use that to stop. What I did was, what do I need to do to create this business? Social media was just getting started. So I was like, okay, I'm going to create a Facebook page and I'm just going to start promoting that I'm going to train competitors. And just by doing that, I got a client. Just by getting this client, we went into the first show and the universe gave me the overall with this client. And it happened just like that. And then when she won the overall, it made other girls joined us. And then from there, it just snowballed and snowballed and it grew. But as long as you're ready to learn, and I was really open to find out how other people were doing it, even though there was not many. And I kind of looked around and see what they were doing and started making little posts on Facebook. And that's how it happened. So you just have to take action and get out there. Yeah. And I thought it ruined, a few years of my life, and Joe even more. He took it even harder, but it didn't. It was the beginning of something really special. So if you are in this position right now, where you are a trainer that lost your job, just know that there is a way. There's a way. And honestly, the competition, it doesn't matter. The world is so big. Online training is everywhere. I have clients in Asia.
Yeah.
So that's not a reason not to start, that it's a competitive industry. No, some people will always say it's a saturated industry. It's not. There's always people needing of your service. And as long as you are not one of those coaches that just offer a meal plan and a workout plan, you will be successful. And what I mean by that is that people need connection. People don't need another meal plan that they can find on Pinterest, right? People need more than that. People want to be heard. They want to be understood. And that's what coaches are missing. And especially in the competing industry, that is what's missing the most. And you know what? They're getting lucky with competitors, a lot of coaches, because competitors have a really big vision, right? They have a really big goal. So it's easier to keep them motivated. The regular person that just want a lifestyle change, and maybe a little bit harder because they don't have such a strong goal, but competing is a very strong goal. So a lot of girls will find their inner motivation for a bit, not forever. So so until you know, because you deal with a lot of the post-trauma that they go through.
Absolutely. So. And I appreciate that you said, just because it's a quote unquote saturated industry doesn't mean there's not space for you. And you're someone who has always believed in the visualization, manifestation. From 7 years old, you saw that you were meant for more and you've never stopped going after it. And I think there's something really powerful to that, in that you didn't limit yourself, and you're also now not limiting others. You're at the top. You're pretty much one of the top, if not at the top. And you're now saying, hey, come up here with me. I'm going to show you how. There's room for all of us. And I think that's a mindset that more people need to have, is that it's not about who you're competing with. It's about how you're competing. How are you showing up? What are you serving and contributing to the industry that sets you apart? And with business, I mean, I've been running mine since 2015, and
you were like a little girl.
Yes. Oh my gosh, so weird. It's true though. And there's been all those ups and downs. There's been doubts. There were so many times where I was like, no one will buy from me when they can buy from so-and-so. But that was because I didn't have that, that vision sorted out completely. So I love how you say prioritize the mindset. But was there anything that you did in your business ventures that you maybe wish you had done differently, or maybe wish you didn't do at all?
No, everything has been such a powerful lesson for me that no, I am really grateful for all the experience, good and bad ones. And I've been through a lot during these 10 years of online coaching. No, I never had that feeling of that things could be better at the time. So I just knew that I was on the right path, and I took action every day. And I feel that as long as you keep moving forward and you keep, let me say, because I'm a perfectionist, and you know that. When I became more successful is when I started taking very imperfect action. When I started Team Edge, I didn't even have a website. I was just talking to people. I was at the hair salon and I was talking about my services. I was at the park and I was talking about what I was doing. I was so proud of what I was doing. So that alone brought clients. It's so funny because people think they have to do this crazy like ad strategy and these crazy strategies to get clients. And in reality, it's all around you.
Yeah.
I have by now trained my neighbors, my jiu-jitsu moms, my school moms. It's all around you. And when you have a good service and you help them being better, they will refer you to their cousins, their moms, their sisters, and it goes on and it snowballs into a beautiful, team. And that's really how it happens. I did it from the ground up. Again, I did it went to the first show with 3 clients. That's all the clients I had. And I also know how it is to daydream when I was little and I had those goals but know that it's possible. It's possible. Again, I'm not special. There's nothing, of course I'm special, but I don't, you don't need a crazy amount of certifications or crazy amount of degrees. You need to connect with your clients. You need to develop your program to change their lives with them in mind, not you making money. The money will follow. It's all about the client. And I think, when you said about me being backstage and, I'm crazy. I'm still dead from Saturday because we had 4 clients competing. I give my all. I just love it. I just love it. And I went through, after 10 years of traveling to every competition pretty much in the nation, from nationals to Spectrum Productions to muscle contests to all the shows, 30 shows a year I was traveling to. I went through a major burnout, and I took a step back in 2020 from COVID. I took a year off, and it was the best thing I've ever done, because I came back as powerful as ever. And when I was backstage, I could just feel the energy around me, and I was feeling that I was attracting other clients as well, because they wanted to have that experience that they weren't having at the show. So,
do you feel like that reinvigorates your desire to be backstage now? Like, is that preventing future burnout, or do you have anything now
no,
okay.
No. Oh no, it will never, I will never get burned out again. And I'll tell you why. I definitely learn how to have boundaries and how to pick certain shows instead of going to all the shows, and how to take care of myself so I can take care of my clients better. Because you can pour from an empty cup, of course. So I have to, like, this show killed me emotionally, spiritually. I'm like, I gave my all. So I need to recover now from it. And then when I go back again, I'm stronger. But I did that every single weekend. So I could never recover. And that's why I went through the burnout. So as long as my clients know what shows I'm going to be, and they choose the shows I'm going to be at, then everything is going to be okay. And so I'm not going to burn out. No, I'm not going to get there. I've already been there, done that. And Joe got he was really sick for a few years with an autoimmune disease as well, caused by stress. So we now have systems in place, and you has helped us a lot. So Celeste she's like the most intelligent human being I've ever met in my life. And she's helped me with all my systems, and she's helped me. Actually, if you join She's Got Brand, you will see her at some point.
Yes, that's true.
See her at some point doing a presentation. So now it's very smooth. And, when we get progress pictures now, we have a couple of coaches that come to our house. I hope I don't upset anybody, but I don't believe in like giving my clients away to other coaches. Yeah. I just can't do it. Joe has major anxiety when it comes to just delegating clients to a coach. So what we do is we sit down together, and then we work on clients' plans together. So a client will come up, and then we look at the profile, has these limitations, these injuries, only has this type of equipment at home. Let's develop a routine for this week. And then now we use a software, and you've uploaded all my workouts.
Yes, so, me and Robbie.
Yeah, well, just know that I doubled the workouts now. They're almost 500.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Yeah, so they drag the routine, Coach Joe supervises and takes care of the nutrition. So that's the way we're going to do it. And as much as we grow, we will keep getting coaches that will come work in our office, basically.
Love that.
But we cannot just let it go. It's not like I guess I don't trust. Just because somebody looks good or is an IFBB pro with abs doesn't mean they know what they're doing. So yeah, I will never do that.
That's a really good point, actually, because I've thought about that, and I've had various Coaches on for Coaches series, and I'm really grateful that I've had the opportunity to work with a lot of people as well and understand maybe how their coaches work. And anyway, what I'm trying to get at is you frequently will see a coach who gets like clients maybe because their girl just won the overall, or because they brought an IFBB pro on their team. So what would you recommend girls look for who haven't competed before in a coach, or how do they determine if, hey, this person is really legit and they're going to be looking out for me?
Okay. So of course I will say experience, but because we have a lot of experience, but in reality, somebody gave me a chance, right? When I didn't have any. So I don't want to be that person that says that. So get on the phone. You will have an intuition if that right coach is right for you or not. Do not just do the DM and them trying to close a sale. Get on the phone and see if you feel that you can grow in all aspects of growth you can possibly imagine together. Not just, again, from a meal plan and a workout plan, from mindset. I think it's very, very important. We had a call today, actually, one of our sales calls, because we're getting phone calls with every prospect, unless it's somebody that knows us for many years and is really ready. We will get in phone calls. And this woman said, I've already been through all these methods. I know you have a method. I've already been through them all. I actually have a chef at home. She's a businesswoman and has somebody that cooks for her, and nothing's work. And Joe told her very clear, that is because of your mindset. You're not determined. You haven't figured out your why. Your why is not deep enough. You haven't really done your mindset work to find out what is your deepest desire, why you really want to get in shape. Once you figure that out, then you will be able to stick to a plan. And you start by doing things like journaling. You know, we're really big in journaling. You actually, Celeste, you were journaling before me.
Yeah, I love journaling. I'm like
you were journaling before me, and not just journaling about food. Because you know how we created our journal for our clients. It's not just about food. It's about what goals I have today. A lot of our clients are business women.
Absolutely.
What goals I have today? What am I grateful today? So you can start the day feeling grateful and in a good start. What really needs to be done today? What is like, this has to happen. So like knowing that is so powerful to achieve, to have a good day, to have a good week. And anyway, I'm getting sidetracked again.
No, I love these conversations. This is so us. It's like literally.
You know what, Celeste? I just did an interview with Tamer, and I know I texted you and I said, my heart is so full. Like, wow, I'm fully back. And he told me during this break you had, what changed in Team Edge? And I said, because now we are teaching people how to maintain their bodies after the stage, to maintain, to know that if they lose it at any point, they will get it back. Because I have got out of shape during these 10 years. I've been in pretty good shape, but there's life happens. But as long as you always know how to make it back, and you have those habits in you to be able to, let me say, when you create habits, you have inner motivation. You are able to be self-motivated. And again, it comes down because your why is so strong, you know.
Absolutely.
But anyway, going back to the coaches, girls, if you're new and competing, ask for the delivery of the program. Because, for example, Celeste's been training with us for a long time. She wants to know she's done a lot of personal development. She wants to know what to do. She just wants to know, what am I taking to the gym? Let me screenshot this routine and let me just get it done. But in reality, most people are not like that. And you probably listening are not like that either. You haven't probably done the personal development that she's done. So how are they delivering the programs? Are they doing it by email? What type of communication do you have with the coach? Are you able to get on a phone call if things, are not working out? Are you able to have an open relationship with the coach? How is the coach talking to you during that consultation? Really put attention. Okay, because a lot of coaches have this all or nothing mentality, and if you don't give your all, you failed. So if you ever feel that, you need to run away, because it's just going to get worse. And what else I was going to say? There's risk. You may get influenciated, and unfortunately, some of the big ones, you may get influenciated by a coach that is pretty known in the industry, and then you may, realize that the grass is not greener, and you made a mistake. And if you are there right now, I'm sorry. I've heard all the horror stories, all of them. 10 years doing this. Wow, I've heard so many. And I'm sorry you're there, but it can change. If you're there, you need to have a really open conversation and probably move on. You need to have chemistry with your coach. You need to have community. You need to have so many things to be successful in this sport. So okay, another thing. Let me tell you that when I went to this show, I was posing with the girls, and this competitor came to me and said, you seem like a really awesome coach. I need something like this. Like, I don't have that. And so I was talking to her, and it's amazing how alone they are. And they're like on the same team, but they're separate in different corners of the room. They don't even know each other. And I think that's a problem. I think they need to come together to empower each other and to keep each other motivated when things get hard. There's nothing more powerful than when you're having a bad day and you post it on our Facebook group, and then you have all that encouragement from others. we had one girl that posted, you actually commented on it, Celeste.
Yeah, I remember this.
Okay, so I don't know if you saw it, because you know how we have 2 Facebook groups. She commented 2 hours later. She posted a picture. I will tag you after we're done with the podcast. She posted a picture sweaty that she got it done.
I saw that. That was
right?
awesome.
Woo!
I was like, and she felt better.
Yes. So you see the power of community. So I'm so sad that a lot of girls don't have that. Maybe they meet at shows and they get to know the other teammates at shows, but they don't have a daily inspiration. And again, if things sound really like fluffy, like if the answers that you're getting are not clear, if your coach is something that Joe does very well, he's confident. He's confident in his ability, and he will make you feel really confident. I think people like that. So if you feel, it's a younger coach that maybe doesn't have a lot of experience, doesn't feel really confident, just, I will say, not hire them. And check like back in the day, check years back if they've been training for a long time. Message other girls that have trained with them, and see what they have to say.
Absolutely.
I think that's probably important. I'm sure you have gotten a lot of messages from girls asking about us, if we're good people and stuff like that. I'm sure that happens. So do that.
All the time.
So, and again, you keep going, girl. I keep going, and accountability is key. You need to be very accountable when you have a coach, and it's not going to be all pretty. You may gonna self-sabotage yourself many times throughout your prep, and that's why coaches are there for, not to punish you from it, to actually tell you that it's okay, that we'll still call it a win, and we move on, and next day is another day.
That's right. I love that. I've always appreciated that. It's like the punishment mentality is really it's toxic in the industry, and it's so clear. It's
so common because they don't realize what they're doing. I don't think the coaches realize what they're actually doing. They think that that's how they motivate the clients, which is so wrong. They need to join She's Got Brand. Because what I'm also doing with She's Got Brand, I'm not only, and that's why it's taking me so long to actually launch it finally next week. Well, when this episode launches, it's probably already out. So, but I'm not only teaching them how to get the lead, but how to actually deliver an amazing program so they have a good experience.
Yes.
So it's all of it.
That's how you keep the client.
Yeah, and that's how you retain the client. And it's easier to retain a client than to find a new client. And why you don't want clients, talking about things about you as a coach, and with the internet, it's like things move really fast, and you get a really bad reputation. And so I think so I'm really excited for She's Got Brand. Lots of lessons. It's a pretty intense 4th month, I would say, mentorship program, and I'm super excited for this new phase in my life. Team Edge is always going to be there. I will never give it up. And I think it's powerful that I'm a coach, a current active fitness coach that is coaching also for business. So people that hire me are doing they want to do what I'm doing, right? It's not like I learned all these marketing strategies and now I teach you how to build your business. No, I actually did it. I did it for 10 full years, and I've been through so much, and I'm going to teach you how to do it without the mistakes I made myself. It's kind of amazing. Yeah, it's really an amazing program.
It is. No, it's going to be awesome. And I can't wait for people to actually get in there. I know you've already had a decent amount of clients go through it. And I think what's important here is they're going to be evolving with you as well, which I think is cool that you're still active in the industry. But you did bring up a really interesting point earlier when you said you want to help people to do what you've done, right? And I think that there are people listening who are like, okay, I can totally do that, but I have to become an IFBB pro first. And I think this is, and you stressed this in the last episode, like your life is going to be the same, but people think, okay, when I become an IFBB pro, I'll land those magazine covers, the media coverage, I'll blow up and everyone will be knocking on my door, but that's not always the case. So how can someone who maybe hasn't had, the Oxygen magazine feature or other types of features have that confidence to say, I don't need to become an IFBB pro, I don't need to have the clout to actually get the client?
you don't even need to compete to be successful in health coaching. So of course the competing helps because you get into that amazing shape and you inspire others. And of course you're going to reach more people that way, but you don't need to have a pro card to be successful. You don't. And when I earned my pro card at the Arnold, that was the time when I was living with my mother-in-law. Yeah. That was the time where I had nothing. So no. And when I built the Team Edge, I also still was living with my mother-in-law. So you don't need it. Honestly, if you are a health coach, a personal trainer, energy healer, any type of health coach, and you want to grow, the only thing to do is to show up authentically. That's it. You have to show up authentically. And I'm going to repeat it again. It's to, if I don't want to get too techie here with the, but I think I can kind of go a little bit over. If you understand your ideal client so well, and one of my first lessons are about identifying who you're talking to. And if you know their deepest desires and you can help them overcome, you can help them reach where they want to go, you can help them overcome the pain they're at, they're going to hire you if you're able to put it in words, in many ways, in videos, in captions. I know you do the captions so well. Just look at Celeste's captions, look at my captions. They're done with intention. I'm talking to one person. I know it feels like I'm talking to the entire world, but I'm actually just talking to one specific woman. And that's what you have to do. And again, you don't need to win competitions. I think it's amazing if you compete because again, you get into that level of condition and it's fascinating for people. And you may get a little bit more popular, maybe more likes on Instagram. But again, for somebody to hire you, you have to have more than abs.
Oof, preach.
Yeah, you have to have more than abs. That's basically it. And I know it's hard. You're probably not clear in how to get clients and if you do get clients, how you serve them. And that's why I'm doing this mastermind.
That's
so
awesome.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for you. I know you've been working hard on it, and I just think it's going to be really cool because you do, I believe, you walk the talk, as they say, and this is something that a lot of people can benefit from if they've wanted to do it. So I'm glad that we got to talk about that on the show. And you guys, I'll make sure I put like information at the end. But Ingrid, I want to talk to you a little bit about just the bikini division right now, because a lot of our listeners, they're competing in the bikini division and they want to have the best possible chance of succeeding. So I'd love to hear more of your take on it. And it's evolved a lot. So what are some things you notice with maybe posing and presentation that you think girls would benefit from changing or addressing now?
Okay, so posing is super important. I would say that we were probably the best posers this past weekend.
That's awesome.
I had Carly do 6 1-hour sessions. And on top of that, send me posing videos. I had every single one of those girls post so much. They post every single day for 20 minutes. If the transformation is 4 months, they post 4 months. So it's very, very important to highlight to hide your flaws and to highlight your strengths on stage. Is the only, when the judges look at you, you want to give them the best. You don't want to be holding a pose that may don't work for you. And how do you know that pose doesn't work for you? Hiring a coach. So it's very important. I definitely saw a lot of bad posing at this competition, a lot. And I think it's because people think that they just need to get shredded, They just need to get like super athletic shape, and then they're just going to stand there and they're going to win. There was actually a girl that I think she placed 3rd place in one of the classes that she could have been the overall champion, but she did not present herself well.
I saw that. I know exactly what you're talking about.
She presented herself like not classy and just seemed
Her
really
physique
sweet girl.
was amazing.
The physique was absolutely amazing. The physique was like a pro physique for sure. Yeah. But the posing was just so bad, and it was very hard. The movements were not flowy. It just looked very uncomfortable and not confident. So she ended up on a 3rd place, which is still great, but not with that type of physique. You could go a lot farther. So I see a lot of bad posing because I don't think girls take it seriously, or maybe because they don't hire the right posing coach. And watch the videos, I think you can kind of guess, you can kind of see, even if you don't have experience with bikini, when a coach can flow and when a coach can move a certain way to make the physique better. You can see it if they post videos. And so do that too. Do your research before hiring a posing coach.
Absolutely. Sure. I think like when I look back at the first time I posed versus like how I pose now, it's always a work in progress, but it's come so far. And I noticed the biggest success because this past season, because I posed every single day, sometimes multiple times a day in heels, and if not in heels, then in between sets, and at least once in heels. And I think practice does make perfect, as I say, but only if you're practicing what you need to be. So I love how you recommend looking at what's best.
Be open for change. Like, what did I tell you like not long ago? We're going to do another posing class and we're going to change your routine a little bit. Not a lot, is really amazing already, but we're going to spice it up.
Absolutely.
And you were totally, absolutely, yes. Like when you can take criticism like that and be like grateful for it and always be open to change. It's amazing. You're really a great person to coach, Celeste.
Thank you.
I know, and I just for the girls that are listening, I know how much that trophy means to every single one of you after you work so hard for so long, but it's not all. Okay, that trophy is gonna collect dust one day. So try to enjoy your journey. And I know it sounds very cliche, but really try to enjoy it. Try to stay connected with others that understand you. I get how frustrating it is when nobody around you in your family understands what you're doing. And that's why community is so important. So try to stay connected, try to build your little community, maybe by messaging and DMing other competitors that are going through the same. And again, if you are prepping, you're training day in and day out, you're following your diet and then you don't practice posing, I don't feel bad for you if you don't do well. I really don't. It's honestly, it's not just a physique content. There's a bikini, there's a tan, there's makeup, there's jewelry, there's hairs, there's the presentation, there's the charisma you bring on stage. All those things count. So take care of all of those things. You chose to do something that is very hard and most people won't do it. We're crazy to do something like that, right? So you do it all the way. If you do something that is that hard, you have to do it all the way. And posing, it's really important. Like this girl that got placed, I believe, third. She looked better than everybody on that class. But the judges only judging what they see. That's it. And I know she didn't practice a lot. I actually got to talk to her. She didn't practice a lot. She did her first posing class a couple of weeks before her stage time.
Oh,
so
no.
What do you expect? And so again, if your coach, okay, and if your coach doesn't have if your coach is maybe a male that is just not that good at teaching posing, then hire another posing coach on the side. If your coach should be okay, you're getting help. He should actually be grateful that you're getting help with somebody to do posing. It's the same way he or she is figuring it out, how to do your diet and your training, then somebody that specializes in posing needs to take care of that.
Exactly.
So do it. You have to really watch your back and do what's best for you. And again, charisma is very important. And charisma, I don't know if I even say it right, charisma.
Yeah.
Charisma, it will only come out when you feel confident, when you radiate that confidence. And that happens by practicing. So you have to practice.
Yes. And it can be awkward for people who are like, quote unquote, lifestyle clients, or maybe they haven't competed before. What are some things that you would recommend to somebody who's just getting into posing, but also competing in general, going from lifestyle to competition, maybe things they should prepare for, changes that get made?
Use mindfulness from the beginning to stay calm through the prep, to overcome any adversity that will come your way when you're prepping, because it will happen. I had a client, Stephanie, and Stephanie, I'm sure she's going to be listening to this. Anyway, she killed it. A 46-year-old woman, it's her birthday next week. She's turning 46. First competition, has lost 30 pounds, actually 25 pounds. Sorry, Stephanie, if I'm not saying that right, but around there. first show, she posed so beautiful, but unfortunately things happen. It's kind of like she called Coach Joe in the middle of the show because he wasn't there. I was there with her, and she was crying because her makeup got delayed so much that she pretty much finished her makeup and went on stage.
Oh no.
She lost all the experience. And so for her, the experience with me was one of the most important things that day. For me to be with her, pumping her, posing, fixing her hair, that was so special to her, and it took it away from her. And she just, it was very, very hard. She came in crying right after makeup. Her face was down. I remember I brought her chin up and I told her to breathe. And right away I made her snap out of it. But literally it was 10 minutes and she was on stage. So things like that happen. It's kind of like Coach Joe told her. It's like your wedding day. You expect everything to go a certain way, but then boom, things like that happens. And it's how you react to things that makes you a champion. And it's not going to be the first time that you're going to have adversities like that the day of the show or during the prep. And it's really how you train your thoughts and how you talk to yourself. And I'm going to get really guru-ish here. I don't want to get too much, but mindfulness is very important to calm your nerves also backstage and through the entire prep and understanding what the judges look for. And I know it's hard because sometimes like you'll have a class that the girls look softer and then you have another class that the girls look super shredded. So it's just very hard. So what you have to do is just give the best that you can do for yourself and not look around to other bodies and how much these, tight ends and hamstrings are popping and how little these ones are and what are they looking for. I don't understand this top 5. Stop all of that nonsense and just focus on you and your personal growth. And if you want to be a pro one day, you got to pose like a pro. You may not have that much time, but you have to start moving like a pro. You have to be elegant. You have to go on stage without fear. You have to be very secure. And I would say you have to shine in every way. You have to make that connection the moment you step on stage. And I'm so proud of all the girls this weekend because they are leaving the stage and they're still looking at every single judge on that panel. They're still keeping themselves arched and poised, and at all times they're aware of what they're doing, and it makes me so proud, so proud. Anyway, awesome. I think I kind of rambled through so many things right now.
I love the rambles. No,
I love too. You even rambled in my presentations.
Oh my God, I did ramble in that. I get on rambles because like you have so much you want to give to people and share, but No, you go. I was gonna say I totally understand why you would ramble and you have so much value to add anyway, and I don't mind it at all. I think there's a lot of people listening who appreciate it.
Yeah, well, I hope so. And I know there's going to be a lot of things that I didn't say that I wanted to say, but I don't know. I really didn't get very ready for this because I come from the competition. And I told Joe, I had a little stress moment today. And I said, Joe, I did not get ready for this podcast. And Joe is like, ready for what?
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking.
Your life. You see competitors every day. I post with 4 girls a day. I live and breathe the sport. And why you have to get ready for what?
Yeah, like, exactly.
Thank you, coach.
Plus, is like, I didn't even send you any. This was so funny. Is like,
you didn't send me nothing. That's not nice.
I know. Everyone asks, like, can you send me the questions? And I'm like, no, sorry. Like, I can't. Because I love the flow. I love seeing what comes out. And obviously, the forum gives a solid idea. I try not to surprise my guests, but I also do want to just take a second to say like how Joe encouraged you tonight, like, and you brought up adversity and you brought up how there's so much more to it than a trophy. And I specifically remember after my first show of this past year, I want to say it was, I didn't place very well, but it was an incredible prep that I had with you guys. And, we kept pushing and I focused a lot on that. And I remember texting you guys after, and I was upset at first because obviously when you're competitive, you want to win. You don't go just to have fun. You do have fun, but you also want to win at the end of the day. And I remember Joe saying, this is like life. There's a lot of ups and downs. There's going to be adversity and you're on the right path. And then I remember you said, that there was a scar on my heart, and I'm gonna cry because it was so
Oh,
special
wow.
to me. That is like a scar on my heart, and it was just meant to be a lesson for me. And you said, what's the real win is that you're a role model, and
Mm,
that's more rewarding. And you said, like, you are my champion. I remember that was like what I needed to hear. And I think that was like the best reminder I could have had from both of you, that there's going to be ups and downs. It is about the longevity. And sometimes that gets away from us when we get super immersed in the sport and wanting to win.
yeah.
And of course, that plays a role in everything. And we model, or we watch the people who are winning the Olympia, winning Arnold, at the top of their game. And I'm actually curious now from a client perspective, how does judge feedback and criteria and the Olympia or the Arnold or other top pro show results play a role in your approach to maybe developing your competitors' posing or physiques?
So it's been so different every year. And even this year, you saw Janet, a beautiful girl, beautiful physique. She's like a beauty queen. I feel like she's like a Hawaiian tropic model, right? Like she's got a
Yeah.
beautiful package. And some people may didn't agree with her winning. I felt that she's come for like how long? 7 years. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
she's earned it, and she's bought the best package that she can possibly be, and she deserved it. And now second place girl was a lot smaller, tight, but smaller than her. So you can't see it like that as a coach. You can't see what are they looking for, because every single one was so different. So you again focusing what you can bring to the table, what you can bring, how can you make yourself present on stage better, and how can I build my best package, but not following anybody's standards really. You can't do that, because again, top five look completely different, each one of them.
Yeah. Almost got to
So
stay ahead of the game.
yeah, and I think I'm seeing a lot of girls that are placing that are also not as tight as well in the
Yeah.
amateur. So maybe they're going a little bit that direction. It's also hard, because when somebody comes in with a really good package and conditioning, it's hard to overlook. So how you penalize that and place another girl that is softer in front, like even
Yeah.
if they're going for that, it's kind of hard as a judge not to go for the girl that brought a more conditioning. So I understand how it's complicated, and that's why you have to like take care of every aspect, not just your body, but your posing and your bikini and your heels and everything. And let me just say for the new competitors that it takes time. Same thing with business coaching that she's got brand, or for my team edge coaching, or any if you're training with another coach, it takes time. There's no instant, how would I say, like gratification, instant
Yeah.
gratification. It's not going to happen like that. You may see a few cases of girls that have got pro within a year. That's happened to us. We have those girls, but very rarely. I can count them with one hand. And when I was recollecting all the emails that you were helping me with creating the sequence,
Yes.
that we haven't done yet, we will. Just from my PayPal account, we came up with 8,000 clients I have coached.
Whoa, that's
And we stopped
awesome.
using PayPal. We stopped using PayPal like 3 years ago. We now use a Stripe.
Yeah.
So imagine how much, for now. But that's to say, 8,000 clients, and I can count 5 that have gone pro within a year.
That's a
so
great.
so that's for you guys
metric.
to know that don't get so influenciated with what you see on Instagram. I know it's easy to, when you're vulnerable and you're going through prep and you're so sensitive, and those things influence you a lot, but try to put those blinders and try not to. You have to reach out to a good coach that can direct you in the right path. And because again, it's not going to happen overnight. For the most,
No.
it's not going to happen overnight. It's not. And honestly, sometimes it's better not to,
I
because
was just thinking that.
we have. Okay, so let me tell you. I know you saw our clients that just competed at the
Mhm.
Fit World. We bought for clients; they all did amazing. We have Sarah that won the overall first show. She won the overall in the novice division and first time competitor. And then she won first place in her class. And then she lost the overall by 1 point. And she said, what could I do better? I'm like, I'm so happy that you didn't win. It's good not to win at your first show. You need to have something. You need to have a drive to work hard towards. And then when I introduced her to the girl that won the overall in the novice division, and I love how Sarah responded. She said, "It's an honor to be competing with you." The girl had a lot of experience. It wasn't her first rodeo.
Awesome.
So she really did deserve to win. She has earned her title. And so anyway, that's Sarah brought an amazing package. There were some things that were better on Sarah. There were some things that were better on the other girl. I think it was pretty honestly almost like 50-50, could have gone either way. But Sarah was a first-time competitor. She still has to work, just has to pay a little bit more of her dues, I feel. Like it was just too soon. And you get to appreciate it more when it doesn't come easy. Okay. And good things take time. And even let me tell you more of a cliche right now. Rome wasn't built in a day. You won't be built either. You won't be built either, whether in business or in training. It's not going to happen overnight. And with my business coaching, 4 months, that's not enough time. I'm going to give you all the strategies, and you're going to go at your own pace. And hopefully you're the one that absorbs it all and take action. But if not, you're going to go a little slower, because it's not going to happen in a day. I can possibly give 10 years of coaching into 4 months, right? So it's going to take time. And that should not be the reason of not taking action, knowing that it's going to take time. Because if not, then you will never take action.
That's true.
So it's hard. I've been there. I still go through it. The marketing changes a lot. We have to find new strategies and things, and it's just part of the business we're in. And and we have to be happy. We have to be happy. It's all about competing. Should be about creating an amazing experience for you, something that most people don't do. How amazing is that? The fact that you can say that most people can't stick to it, and you're doing it, and that's amazing.
That's exactly right.
And okay, and last thing, can I just say one more thing?
I love it when you talk. Yes.
Okay, because I want to talk a little bit about the money part. That when I work hard, I know, of course, I make money, but I know I sometimes tell you, Celeste, I'll tell you my wins. I'll be like, "Wow, I had an amazing day." And
I do love that
too. But the reason is, it's not to see my bank account growing. It's because I can live the life that I've always wanted to live. I live a life of that I never thought it was going to be possible with how I grew up. I'm living the life of my dreams, and I want everybody to do it too. I want you to be on freedom. When you wake up in the morning and you feel free, and money gives you freedom. I'm going to Hawaii next week. I have an online business that I can take with me while I'm in Hawaii, and I want you to experience that too, because it's possible. It's possible, and the fact that other people are doing it, it's possible. It's showing you that it's possible for you too. And I want everybody to pursue their passions and living the life that they want to be. And it's scary, but I'll be there holding your hand along the way. And you don't want to live a life without passion, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
I think that's part of like what everybody strives for as humans, is to have some level of fulfillment, of some value. Maybe it's not through work or through a career, but it's through some sort of fulfillment. And I think that if I grew up being told, it's important to make money so you can live, but it's better if you can make money doing something you love so you can live, even more a life you love. And that always stuck with me so much growing up. And I never wanted to do anything I didn't like because of that. And luckily I've never had to do anything I don't like, because that was a decision I made, that I just wouldn't do something I didn't want to do. And I think you're a living proof of that as well, that, hey, there's also times you have to invest in yourself to make things work. There's hardships. Yeah. There's, those trials and errors. There's making sandwiches, to learn English. Like there's things that come up along the way that are going to challenge you, but ultimately, like, it's all part of that journey. And so just hearing your story is always inspiring to me. And I know that other people will be inspired as well. And hopefully, check out She's Got Brand, if not, Team Edge as well, because I can always vouch for that. And if you guys have questions about what it's like to be on the team, I'm always happy to answer them too. But I actually had one more question for you. Okay. Well, I want to get you to share where people can connect with you, but I also wanted to know, when you launched Ingrid Romero bikinis, what were you hoping to accomplish, and how is it evolving, or how has it evolved? Because I personally have only worn your bikinis except for at 2 shows, and those were the shows that I didn't look good at.
Oh, you had that red bikini, I believe. Was it a red with like really weird connectors?
That was terrible. I like won that bikini and it looks so good on my pale skin. Like pale skin, I was like, looks great. My tanned skin, and it was too small on top, which made my boobs look even smaller. So I looked very imbalanced. I also was a lot less conditioned at that show, which was not a big deal. It just was what it was, but it just didn't compliment me. But anyway, I love your bikinis. Obviously, I cried, and I still sometimes cry because I lost that blue one. But that's besides the point. That was a gift from one of your old clients too. So yeah. Anyway, how has it evolved? What were you trying to accomplish? Like, how do you even do all of that?
So now I have 2 women that helped me create the bikinis. It was me and Joe doing it at home with our twins being babies. I remember having a heat press machine behind the couch, and Joe was there putting crystals. We heat press the crystals down on the center of the bikini, and then the edges have to be done by hand to make sure the rubber behind it don't make them pop with the heat. It's quite a process. So anyway, Joe was really good at it. He was really, really good at it. He was a lot better than me. So we started doing it together. You hear my dogs barking. I have 4 dogs, guys. And if you follow me on Instagram, you know that.
The bully fam.
They're the bully fam. So anyways, just if you take care of every aspect of your, again, posing and nutrition and training, you have to take care of your bikini. And it's not so much also on just the crystals, but also on the cut of the bikini. It's just more about that cut to enhance your glutes, right? Having that right heart shape that highlights your glutes, and that sometimes I feel they're really low on the front and the girls are almost going to show down there. And there's a lot of, crazy things that I see on stage sometimes. But when you invest on a suit, just keep the suit. You don't need to buy a million suits. You don't have to buy a suit every time you go on stage. Remember that. Work on your physique, keep the suit. Just make sure it's a suit that actually the judges like. And for you guys, suits colors that work really well are colors that are really, that have a nice contrast with your skin tone, right? So for example, I have Ashley. She's very ethnic. She's dark. She is wearing a yellow bikini that really pops with her skin. I will never put you on a yellow bikini, Celeste.
Oh my gosh, could you imagine? I would just fade into the dust.
Yeah. It'll be like see-through. It'll be like you have
she's naked.
Like a silver thing. So really knowing how to work with different ethnicities and asking your bikini maker what suit colors will work well with my physique, with my skin tone, my hair color, my eye color. And to be safe, I always tell the girls, if you want to play it really safe, colors like wine, like red, like purple, like green, like a deeper green, like an emerald green, hunter green, blue, vibrant royal blue, or a navy blue. There's a lot of options already. Those are always going to be really safe for you. So invest in one of those suits and just wear it until it falls off, until it literally breaks off, because you don't have to spend money in all those suits. And also I'm now doing the girls, we coach the girls, and after prep, after like NPC cards, traveling to competitions, hotel, fees left and right, tanning, makeup, it's a lot. So I decided, I was just telling you about it, that I'm going to make like about 20 amazing suits that I can actually rent to the team for a really affordable rate. And so they don't have to spend so much. So I'm about to get through that process next week, because sometimes girls, like, they'll wear a bikini and then they just want to sell it because they feel they need to wear another one. So then they'll try to sell it and buy another one. And sometimes they have problems selling it because it's size for them and not for the other. So it's just, I think it's going to be really good for the team to have suits that they can just rent.
Totally.
Affordable. And yeah, look, that's what I would say about the suits. Picking the right connectors. I like simple connectors work really well. 1 row, 2 row, maybe 3 row, but nothing hanging that is too distracting in your hips and it covers your amazing glutes. Nothing also super thick or with crazy colors with weird jewel tones on them. That's another thing I could mention. I don't know what else I can say. I also offer payment plans. So if you guys want to buy one of the suits in IngridRomeroBikinis.com, I believe you have a code active as well on that account.
Celeste.
Yeah. So, and you can message me on Instagram as well to talk about it. And yeah.
Awesome. Well, gee, like seriously, you do everything. I always love that about you because you inspire me to go after more, and you've proven that you can come from adversity and overcome it and create the life of your dreams, as well as support others in doing the same. So of course we just mentioned the Ingrid Romero bikinis. You guys can use my code Celeste. I believe you'll also be able to use my code Celeste on she'sgotbrand.co, which will be great. But Ingrid, can you let everybody know where they can find you, connect with you, work with you, for even Team Edge? And I just mentioned she'sgotbrand.co for the business coaching program.
Yeah.
So let's hear how else they can connect.
So there's, you can just send me a DM and I will send you a link to schedule a call with me. You can, of course, visit my websites. You just mentioned them, IngridRomeroBikinis.com, teamedgefun.com, or she'sgotbrand.co without the M, she'sgotbrand.co. But you can just message me on Instagram and let's create a conversation and let's see if we connect with each other. And as well, this has to work both ways. And this just doesn't have to work for the client. It has to work for me as well, right? Our energy, you said something so powerful to me. Just so you know, Celeste, what you tell me, it also sits with me. Because sometimes when I tell you things, I didn't know if they were sitting on you so deeply until you say them again. And I'm like, wow, I love that I can have that impact on you and you have that impact on me too. And now I got sidetracked and I don't even know what I was going to say.
Well, I'm going to put like all your links and tags and everything in there.
I was going to say that it has to work both ways. Okay. I was just saying that the energy we have is very limited every day. And we definitely need to work with people that we like. We have to have chemistry between each other. And that's why my husband's going to get on the phone call with you, or I'm going to get on the phone call with you, and we're going to talk because it has to be a match. And I think that's very important. So just send me a DM, and if you really feel convinced and you just want to get on board, of course, that's totally okay too. But we don't mind spending the time and for a completely free consultation, so we can talk all the things.
Love that.
And let's do it. Let's finally change your life for good. Let's do it.
Yes, seriously. Yeah. In many ways too. Like you guys have changed my life in many ways, and I'm forever grateful for you guys. So it's an honor having you on the show again, outside of Coaches Week, but as a IFBB pro, as a business professional, as a mother, like showing up in all these different ways. And I just appreciate your time. I'm going to put all the links you just shared in the show notes page, as well as the Instagrams. I'll even put the Bully Fam on there, because who doesn't love to look at dogs?
Yeah, I know. I haven't been, so I'm multi-passionate, I just like to create. I'm very creative, just like you. And sometimes I have to really take a step back and realize what I'm doing. I'm wasting my time here when it could be put here. Again, going back to where I put the energy. But you know what? The thing is that we try. Yes. And then we realize that it's not working. So let's cancel that out. So the Bully Farm is being canceled out for now, but the Instagram is still active. So you can see my puppies in there, but I haven't posted it in a month. And I will say back to the energy, what I was saying, because it's not coming back to me because I'm rumbling. But you told me that you were being very careful because of things that have happened as of lately in your life. You've been very careful where you're putting your energy. Yes. And that stuck with me. And it's so powerful. And just know that you're inspiring so many, and including myself. I learned so much from you, and thank you. And you know, there's times in life where we're gonna go through a lot of situations, and we're gonna fail when we try to do business things, and you know, we see it as it's a stepping stone to greatness. You know.
True.
Yeah.
Well, that means
we're
a lot
badass, and we're positive, and we're go-getters, and yeah, and I'm sure you have self-doubt. I'm sure I have and that's why I took so long to launch She's Got Brand. I've been helping people now for 2 years. I've been doing business coaching for 2 years, and I still haven't posted about it. Why? Because we have internal, I would say, naysayers, right? We have internal people that live in my brain that creep me out. They come out from time to time and they creep me out, and that's again why mindset is so important, because you need to learn how to talk back to that voice how to talk back, how
Exactly.
to reframe your thoughts so you can achieve more and more things. And yeah.
I always say to those thoughts, I'm like, thank you so much for trying to protect me, but I
Yeah.
got this.
It's fascinating when you actually learn why we do this, right? It's fascinating
Right.
to know that it's for protection, and you have to step out of your comfort zone because that's where the magic happens. And yeah.
That is so true. Honestly, like me and you, we could always talk forever. And
Oh yeah, we could probably be here 3 hours. And yeah, I'm
people
sure
would listen.
my bikini girls, you're gonna have a great cardio session today.
Yes. Oh
I'm
my
sure
gosh,
they're doing the cardio
exactly.
while watching your podcast, and we're gonna go all the way.
That
Um,
is my favorite.
and I can I say one more thing?
Of course.
If you're going through a hard time, because I hear a lot of stories of like competitors that are having, a lot of problems with their health. It can be fixed. Just know that it can be fixed. And if you don't have anybody, message me on Instagram, let me in, and I'll try to help you out. I'm not telling you to join my team, but I would love to give back. So if I can help you out in any way, even getting on a phone call, honestly.
I love that.
So if you feel like you hit rock bottom, good. It's time now to change it. Okay.
That's
And
beautiful.
yeah. I miss you so much, Celeste, right
I
now.
miss you too. Oh my gosh. You guys listening, like I went through a really hard time. I lost my mother. I haven't
Mhm.
mentioned it on the podcast yet, but my mom was, a huge part of me launching this show. But anyway, Ingrid and Joe have been there for me through that. And so us connecting in this way is awesome, because the last time Ingrid saw me and when we've been talking, I've been very down. I was down today, but doing what I love brings me up, and having these types of conversations makes me happier, and it reminds me of that vision. So I'm always grateful, Ingrid, that I have you in my life as a friend, as a coach, as a confidant. It means so much to me.
Thank you so much.
Of
Thank you. That
course.
makes me tear eye. Um, I was so happy that I'm here for you during that time. And it's the first time I also experienced something like that. Somebody close to me going through that. And I don't know if I did it right. I really didn't know what I was doing with you. I was just kind of acting as of like,
It was
I need
beautiful.
to be there for her. And even though there's not much that I can do, I just wanted to be there for you at any time, including tonight. If you tell me I need you, I'll be there. You know that.
Thank you. I do.
Yeah.
And I'm wearing your pajamas you gave me too right now. Like literally I'm wearing them.
Okay, if anybody has sent Celeste chocolates or alcohol, come on, guys, you know better. She's a bikini girl.
It's so funny. Luckily, no one sent me alcohol. I
Okay,
got the
good.
most beautiful cards, and yeah, interestingly enough, no chocolate, and I love chocolate. But yeah, no chocolate, but beautiful cards and gifts. Jesse,
Oh, I love
you
her.
sent
Oh,
me these
yes.
cute fuzzy socks, and I just feel
That's
so
very
loved.
thoughtful.
Yeah,
The
she's
thoughts
so
are
amazing.
very, yeah.
I better stop recording. Hold on. Let
Okay.
me sign off.
Okay, so we're done.
Yeah, let me give a sign off. You guys, thank you for listening. You can find all the show notes at celestial.fit/podcast. If you have any questions for me or Ingrid, of course, you know where to find us, and that's all in the show notes page. And you can find that at the very top of that website if you're listening right away, or you'll just scroll to the Ingrid Romero category section and you'll be able to find all of this. So thank you guys so much for jumping in on this conversation with us. I hope you all have an amazing rest of your day, night, or morning, wherever you are in the world while you're listening to this episode.